Welcome to a special Classic Game Room CGR Q&A where I'm going to be answering some questions out of the Classic Game Room forums. But before I begin, let me say thank you to those of you who have sent many thousands of messages and comments and tweets and emails to me regarding the changes to the show next year. I appreciate every single one of them. Thank you. I'm not entirely sure what's happening with the show. However, I am sure that the store is closing down after this week. This is the last week that you can get the Classic Game Room Blu-rays and Laser Hypervision album sets and t-shirts, and the glassware has sold out. Sorry. I love the glassware. I kept one or two of them here. Had a cold, so sadly drinking water. Water is always better when it's made into beer, by the way. That's a scientific fact. So let's get started here with the questions. The first one is, what's going to happen to The Office? I don't know yet. Don't know what's happening with the set just yet. I know the rest of this year is busy shipping since so many of you have ordered stuff from the store. We've never been this busy. Thank you. But don't know yet. We'll see. I'd like to keep it, obviously. I was joking that I thought it would be fun to crash the space station into the atmosphere just to watch it burn up for yucks, but I don't want to ruin my Pac-Man or Truxton arcade machines. I'm never selling those. Ever. Let's see. Have you ever watched the movie Barbarella? Asks Pandemonium. Really? You don't have to ask that. The better question is, how many times have I seen Barbarella? Lots. I love that movie. Jane Fonda's smoking. It's an incredible movie. And Duran Duran got their name from Barbarella. It's like one of the greatest movies ever made. Let's see. Mark, did Derek review the Hyperscan yet? I don't think he did, but he probably got burned out after he was trapped in the R zone and then reviewed the Zavix. Let's see. Lurking Presence asks about Patreon. I've had a lot of people ask about Patreon, and that is something I'm looking into. I will say that while I plan to continue the show as a hobby next year, I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work out yet. I have no interest in continuing the show supported by ad revenue because ad revenue is useless if you're reviewing a bunch of obscure stuff because nobody searches for it. So unless you have like 1 billion followers, the ad model is pretty much dead. So we'll see what happens. If I do continue in any sort of professional way, I would want to increase production values and make it more obscure. Pandemonium asks, who would win? These are always good. Better not be Jar Jar. Robocop or the Truxton arcade machine armed with a GameCom? I think that Robocop would knock the GameCom out of the Truxton arcade machine's hands because the GameCom is evil, and then Robocop would play Truxton. So it's not so much who would win, it's that Robocop and Truxton would team up and then destroy the universe. Let's see, Crackdown 3, I had no idea they were even making that. Rise of the Tomb Raider, I haven't played it, don't plan to, no time. I'm busy playing Battlefront and Missile Command right now. Not at the same time, but both great games. The new Battlefront's really good. I just like to run around as a stormtrooper and shoot things. I'm terrible at it, so if I'm on your team, I'm sorry, because my kill-death ratio sucks. Thoughts on Ash vs. the Evil Dead? I haven't watched it yet. I'm looking forward to watching that with a friend, so I will see it soon. It looks great. Have I ever had Weyerbacher beer? Asks Purple Tentacle. Yes. It's Pennsylvania beer, and it's very good. Here we go. Captain Sham asks, why am I so awesome? Tell you, there's a lot of days where I don't feel so awesome. Perhaps it's the copious amounts of beer drinking and Atari 2600 that I've enjoyed in my life. Both great things. Anime reviews, probably not anytime soon. How do you guys get such good quality gameplay? Asks Lord Carnage Jar Jar 21. Thought we had programming that would block people from combining Lord Carnage with Jar Jar in their titles. What's the avatar? That better not be like Lord Carnage and Jar Jar. Oh, it's somebody punching out Jar Jar. Well, that's alright. Good avatar. Someone punching out Jar Jar is acceptable. Hopefully that's Lord Carnage punching out Jar Jar. How do I get such good quality gameplay? I've been doing this for years, and I have lots of great hardware and tricks to record it, and I always use the original hardware. Or at least if I don't use the absolute original hardware, in many cases like the NES, I will use a good aftermarket NES like the Analog NT, which I did mail back to them. I didn't actually mail them a Gamecom. I sent their unit back. I use the Yobo FC Twin a lot for the NES. Do I ever watch my old reviews? Not too many of them. I don't watch much of anything I've ever done. I look at it and then I just start picking it apart for faults. Occasionally I do. Some of the really weird. I like the weird ones. Like anything with the cars are good. Favorite era of Atari? All of them? 2600, the arcade games. I guess not so much the Jaguar era. Irish Ninja has a comment here. And a lot of people have asked about this. CGR at Twitch and live streams. And I don't have anything against Twitch or live streams. I prefer edited content. So it's unlikely that I'm going to want to push ahead with live streaming. I like editing. I like high production values. I don't think I'm terribly good at live streams because I'm constantly thinking like an editor. And if you've done a lot of editing, you know what I'm talking about, because you're always thinking of like what you could do differently, because in editing you can just rearrange things and make it better. You wouldn't believe how much editing goes into this video. I'm on the Vectrex. In between takes, the studio camera finally died after many years of service, so I'm filming the rest of this with a GoPro at my bar, which comes straight out of the 70s. And I've got lots of great new Sega SG-1000 and Mark III reviews coming up soon. Working on a review for a Boulder Dash for the Intellivision, which is great. I had this game on PC way back when, and these Electronite guys do amazing work releasing brand new Intellivision games. And this weekend, you can enjoy the review of Final Fight Revenge on the Sega Saturn. I'm also playing some Japanese spaceship shooters on the Xbox with this giant joystick that I've had for all these years. So thank you for watching. More stuff coming soon. Love this wallpaper. It's Friday and I can't hang out at my own bar and not have a beer on the Vectrex. And let me show you something. I know a bunch of you saw this on Instagram yesterday. This is the wood-paneled classic game room PlayStation 4, which now has the power of the Atari 2600.